Hello and welcome to the channel. Here we are at the Hotel Landmar Playa La Arena in Tenerife. In this video I'll be showing you around the grounds, our lovely sea view room, the food, both buffet and the a la carte options, the activities and the entertainment. I shall be taking a look at all the benefits of being in the Platinum Club, and at the end I'll let you know if it's worth the extra cost. This is a 4-star hotel, but it has quite a luxurious feel, and indeed the lobby is one of the most impressive and nicest I have ever seen. Let me show you what I mean. This hotel opened in the year 2000, becoming part of the Landmar Group in around 2018. However, looking around, it still looks very new. Everywhere is gleaming marble, white furniture and lovely planting. And the cathedral-like proportions of this lobby are very impressive. Here we are in the middle of the lobby. Let's take a 360-degree look. Here's the entrance, seating, platinum check-in, the reception desk, steps up to the sports area, and round down to the hello bar at the end there, the glass lifts. Here is the top of the main staircase. And then we have a further seating area and the shop. Let's take a closer look around. And here we are at the on-site shop, Paradiso Tropical. There are a couple of post boxes and the shop is quite well stocked. There's everything from suitcases, beachwear, caps, bags, jewellery, toiletries, postcards and souvenirs. Just around from the shop is this seating area shaped like a boat. In the evening, people tend to play cards here, and it is rather nice when it is lit up. Although to appreciate its shape as a boat, it does really have to be viewed from above. Around from the boat seating area is the library. The books are mainly in English, a few in German. Across the lobby is the large reception desk, which is staffed 24 hours a day, and the staff were very helpful. To the right of the reception desk is a staircase and corridor under the road to the sports area. We'll be taking a look at that later. Next to the staircase is the luggage storage room, an ATM and somewhere to deposit towels on your last day and get your deposit back. This is the luggage storage room. When you check out, if you need to store cases, you will be given a card to access this room. To the right of reception, we're off to the hello bar, but before that are more toilets. Let's take a look at those. Here we have an accessible toilet, baby changing facilities, hand dryer, sink that you can get under, toilet with handrails and plenty of space. Let's take a look at the ladies. Spacious, fully tiled, hand dryer, few sinks, hand soap. Smells quite nice in here. And toilet cubicle. It's all very modern in there. Let's take a look at the hello bar. The hello bar is open from 10 o'clock in the morning until midnight. There are a lot of premium spirits here, and a lot of them are included in the all-inclusive basis. Let's take a look at the bar price list. I see that some of the spirits are discounted when you are on the all-inclusive tariff. Here you can help yourself to beer, sangria on the taps and soft drinks. Just by the hello bar is comfortable seating. This is quite busy in the evening. It's a sociable place to hang out with a drink and listen to the evening entertainment, usually a singer or a musician. From here, we can go through the patio doors onto the outdoor seating area. Again, comfortable seating, and it does look lovely at night when it's all lit up. And as you can see, there is plenty of seating available and a lovely sea view. Just down there, under the bamboo roofing, is the a la carte restaurant Macaronesia. Here we are back at the Hello Bar, and next to that is a water refilling station and somewhere that you can get yourself a hot drink. This is also where snacks are put out between 10 o'clock at night and 6 in the morning. And here is the Platinum Club Lounge. And here is the bar area, which is self-pour. You can get yourself a hot drink. There are often little biscuits available, especially in the afternoons. And you can help yourself to whichever drinks you like. If you were in the Hello Bar and not on an all-inclusive basis, a Malibu would cost you €6. On an all-inclusive basis, €4.80. In Platinum Club, just help yourself. It's all included. So if you do like your premium branded spirits, the Platinum Club might be something to consider. In the fridges are branded wines, beers and mixers. The Platinum Lounge seating area is very nice. It's well decorated and quieter than the main lounge. There are a few comfortable sofas and chairs, but I would like to see this area a little wider with more indoor seating. Through the patio door and we're out into the Platinum seating area, where there are quite a few chairs and tables and some shading. This is very popular in the evenings. It's a nice spot to watch the sun go down. And here it is in the evening. It's not even properly dark yet, and you can see just how atmospheric it looks with the lights. Here we are, back in the lobby, and if we look over the rail, we can see down the magnificent marble staircase to the lower floor. Here are the open corridors to the rooms, and here we are at the top of the marble staircase. On the ground floor, to the left, is the show, which is an auditorium and bar where the evening entertainment takes place. And on the right is the Lava Buffet restaurant. Behind the main staircase is a games area. There are a couple of pool tables, a pinball machine, a few arcade games and a massage chair. Before we go outside, let's get our bearings from above. Here we can see the outdoor seating area from the lobby bar and VIP lounge, the bamboo roofing to the a la carte Macaronesia restaurant. Next to that, the small spa pool, the dark blue activities pool and the further quieter pool. Beyond that is the Platinum area. So let's go outside and take a closer look. The gardens here are lovely, with lots of mature, well-tended planting. Between the two paths out is this seating area, mainly used by smokers. Just ahead of us here is the a la carte restaurant Macaronesia. Sloped site is terraced and accessed via steps or a sloped path. Here is the outdoor seating area to the Lava Buffet restaurant, where anyone can sit. Up ahead, where you can see that little screen, beyond that is the seating area for Platinum Club. As you can see, that's slightly above the path, so a little more private, and that does have a sea view. Here we are halfway down the path, and at this point we can access the pool toilets. The accessible toilets and the ladies and gents are very similar to those just off the main lobby. Beyond the toilets, let's have an explore. And through here, this is the other arm of the hotel. This is much quieter as the open corridors do not open into the main lobby. Again, very nicely planted. And this atrium is actually open to the elements. It's very peaceful through here. Let's go back out and rejoin the path. And here we are back outside, and if we look over the rail, we can see the dark blue activities pool. It's very quiet at the moment, as this shot was taken at 7:30 in the morning. Continuing down the path on the left takes you to both the pools and the arena snack bar. On our left we have one of the Bali Bed Terraces, and below that the second quieter pool. Bali beds can be hired for the day, with packages starting from €30 that include drinks and snacks. Here's a view from lower down of the quieter pool with the arena snack bar in the back. As you can see, lots of sunbeds and parasols. They all look new and in good condition. Here we are, just passing the quieter pool towards the end of the path, and on our right is the entrance to the gym, where you can also find showers and toilets. Let's go and take a look around. The air conditioning in here is certainly working. It's quite cool in here. As for the equipment, I have no idea what I'm looking at, but there's lots of it and it does look to be in good condition. Decor and the flooring look new and it smells quite nice in here. Here we are just outside the gym where there's a water dispenser and showers and toilets. Let's take a look. It's quite nice in here, bright, fresh and modern. This hotel does not have courtesy rooms, so if you can't get a late checkout, you can use these facilities if you've been in the pool all day. Fresh towels and shower gel is available. The only things missing, I would say, is a laundry hamper for used towels and perhaps a chair to be able to sit on to put on shoes and socks. But overall, very good. Back outside and to our left is access to the pools, the towel exchange and the Platinum Club area. And here we are at the end of the path, where an old sports bar has been turned into a new restaurant. If you do visit this hotel, please let me know in the comments how it turned out, and a picture would be lovely too. On the left here are steps going down to the Platinum VIP area with the infinity pool. If you can't manage steps, you can take the lift to go down one floor to have level access to the infinity pool area. There's also a meeting room on this floor for conferences. Here is the glimpse of the Platinum area. We'll take a better look a little later, but first let's take the glass lift down to the ground floor. From the lower level of Platinum Club area to street level is this impressive landscaping and water feature. From the lift, it's a left turn and down a short path towards the outside gate, which is operated by your room card. It's only a couple of minutes walk to the beach and the shops. Outside is also lots of free parking, and that's where we parked our hire car. Although the hotel does have underground parking for €8 per day. A video tour of La Arena is also on the channel if you'd like to check that out. Here we are going up in the glass lift again, and this time I want to show you around the Platinum Club area. It's on 3 levels, so I'm taking the lift to the top. I'll retrace my steps back to the gym and show you from there. So on the left is the beach hut, which is the towel exchange, and on the right is one of the entrances to the Platinum Club area. Entrance is by waving the little card on your Platinum wristband at the sensor. On your right is the jacuzzi area and a few sunbeds. If you cannot manage steps, this is as far as you can go using this entrance. From here, it's down a few steps to a quiet terrace with a few sunbeds, tables and parasols. The sunbeds all look new and are better than the ones in the main area in that they have this nice padded cushioning. Here, there are more sunbeds with a view over the infinity pool towards the bay. It's empty and quiet at the moment as it's 7:30 at night. Here we are at the view, which is where the self-service bar and buffet is situated. And this is what it looks like during the day. There's an awning for shade and comfortable seating outside, as well as indoor seating and tables. Here is the buffet area, but we'll be taking a closer look at that in the food section of this video. Here is the self-service bar area, stocked with premium drinks. It's very similar to the Platinum Lounge just off the main lobby. The main difference being that there are a couple of jugs of fruit juice. One is freshly squeezed orange juice and the other is pineapple juice, perfect for a gin and orange or a Malibu and pineapple. Here we are outside the view again in the evening so as not to disturb other guests. The Platinum Pool area opens at 9 AM and closes at 8 PM. To the left here are steps up to the upper terrace, and to our right are the steps down to the lower terrace. Let's go and take a look. Here we have the infinity pool and 2 rows of sunbeds. The walkway between the sunbeds is a little narrow, so we didn't sit down here. On the right here is where the lifeguard sits between 10 AM and 6 PM, which must be the dullest job on the site, as this is an adults only area and it was never very busy. At the end of the sunbeds on the right are the toilets. Further on is a little more seating and level access to this area. Let's go and take a look at the toilets. We'll take a look at the ladies, but I am advised that the gents is fairly similar. Inside, hand dryer, bin, 2 sinks, 1 cubicle, although it is quite spacious. Always plenty of toilet paper. Always clean, lots of hand soap, and the hand dryer always works. Let's take a look at the accessible toilet. Very large space here. A sink that you can get a wheelchair under, an angled mirror, handrails around the toilet. There was sometimes a small queue for the toilets, but you never had to wait very long. Here we are, back outside. So let's whiz along the area by the infinity pool and we'll go up onto the upper level. There are around 30 sunbeds up here. We spent most of our time on this upper terrace, as it was nice and quiet and ideal for reading a book. At 11 AM, the staff bring round the cocktail of the day. Here we are, having a sex on the beach. At 3 PM, the staff bring round cornetto-style ice creams in strawberry or chocolate flavour. At the back of the terrace is the third entrance to the platinum area, which is level, so if you can't manage stairs, you could come here, although it is quite a way to the toilets from here. Here we are at the Moehe Grill. Moehe, in English, means either pier, dock or wharf. This is an a la carte restaurant, open for lunch between 1 PM and 3:30 PM. Platinum guests can dine here as many times as they like, with no charge. Other guests may dine here too, and I will show you a menu, the price list and the food in the food section of this video. To the left is the quieter pool area, and to our right, the Arena snack bar, which I will show you later. We're just passing the bar on the right. As you can see, there are plenty of tables and chairs. During the day it is quite busy around here, as this is the main pool bar and also the main activities pool, where the animation team lead the water sports. And we'll see some of that a little later. From here you can see just how many pool and sea view rooms there are. In this area, the flooring is looking a little tired and worn. It is unsightly, but not dangerous. Here we have somewhere to put your empty cups and your plates. There are plenty of sunbeds, and people reserving them didn't seem to be a problem, although we did visit in early May and in term time. And just beyond the activities pool is the spa pool. This is an adults only area, but anyone can use it. The cabanas are used for massage and beauty treatments. This area is quite new. A couple of years ago, this area and above it, which is now an a la carte restaurant, used to be a water slide, so it's quite interesting to see what improvements are being made here. And here's what this area looked like during the day. Up the steps and terraces to the right and to the left have Bali beds for hire. Well, that concludes the tour of the rear of the property. If you find this level of detail helpful for your holiday planning, consider subscribing to join our community of leisure seekers. Our transfer from the airport took 1 hour and 20 minutes, which meant we arrived at just before 11 o'clock at night. We were checked in by Margarita, who was friendly, efficient and informative. Our wristband was made of fabric and was very comfortable. The Platinum Club wristband allows access not just to your room, but other Platinum Club areas around the hotel. Our party of 4, staying for 10 days, never once had to go to reception to get this card remagnetised. As the restaurants had closed, we were handed a canvas bag to keep with sandwiches inside and an empty water bottle. The sandwiches were ham and cheese. Welcome sandwiches in Spain always seem to be ham and cheese. We got a second water bottle in our room. There are water refilling stations all over the hotel. Nice touch, Landmar. On the way to the Platinum Lounge to eat our sandwiches, we passed the snack bar by the Hello Bar, where we grabbed a piece of fruit and a biscuit. Our welcome pack contained a helpful information sheet, along with a map and a QR code, so you can log on to the hotel's app where you can find information and make reservations for the a la carte restaurants. However, if you wish to make a booking for more than one room, you will need to see reception. Platinum Club members get a beach towel card. This can be exchanged at the towel exchange for a Platinum beach towel, and this can be exchanged for a fresh towel whenever you like. Non-Platinum guests can get a towel card at reception with a deposit of €10. This towel can be changed once a week, though I've no idea how that is policed. Platinum guests get a key card to access their safe. This is included in their package. Non-Platinum guests can get a safe key card at reception at a cost of €3 per day. Let's go and take the glass lift to the 7th floor and take a look around our room. There are only 2 lifts in this section of the hotel, but we never had to wait very long for one. In the lift, you can really appreciate the scale of the lobby. And there's a lovely view of the mountains in the distance. On every floor, opposite the lifts, is a water dispenser. Here you can get cold, room temperature and even boiling water. And this is accessible 24 hours a day. Another great touch from this hotel. The corridors are open to the main lobby. The sound is dampened by the planting. And here we are at the room. We got into the room around midnight last night, so too dark to show you around. So we'll show you around now. It's still relatively tidy. First of all, let's take a look at the bathroom. This is a first for us. This room has 2 showers. The first over a bath. This has shower gel and shampoo and conditioner. There's a grab rail. The tiles are in good condition and the grout is clean. It's great to have 2 showers when you're in a rush to get out. There's a clean white shower curtain. Mirror, shaving mirror, tissues, hand dryer but not very powerful, hand soap, sink, I placed a little too back for my comfort, glasses, 2 towel rings and a bin. There's also a very small amenities kit, which consists of 2 dental kits and a vanity kit which contains a cotton pad and a few cotton buds. And here we have a walk-in shower, again with body wash, shampoo and conditioner. The shower head looks a little tired, but there was plenty of hot water and great pressure, although it took a minute for the hot water to come through this morning. Here we have the toilet and 3 toilet rolls, toilet brush. This area is a little cramped, and my husband managed to stub his toe on the doorstop. And here's the bidet. The bathroom is clean and in good decorative order, and the extraction fan is efficient. Outside in the passageway, there are 2 wardrobes, a single and a double. The single wardrobe has 2 shelves, one high, one low, and plenty of long hanging space. There were 17 wooden hangers rather than the industry standard of 12, though there would have been 24 if some of them hadn't been stolen. We brought 20 plastic hangers, as usual. The double wardrobe has a long hanging rail, plenty of cupboard space, and the safe, which is included in the Platinum package, or €3 a day if you're not. We are in the main bedroom. Just as you walk in, there's a full-length mirror, which is rather large. A luggage rack. A desk. I would have preferred a long drawer here rather than an open space. We have a table lamp, a coffee machine, tea and coffees, a couple of cups and a kettle, a couple of glasses, a large Philips TV, not sure about the channels on that, and a fridge with minibar. Nice paper basket. Let's take a look in here. And this is what we were left. That looks like some crisps, salted. I think those are nuts. One bottle of bubbles, 2 of orange juice, 2 Pepsi, 2 beers. The minibar is supplied as part of the Platinum Club package. However, if you do want this to be refilled, it's either 35 or 36 euros. And there's a bottle opener. The bed is absolutely huge, very comfortable. A couple of pillows each, which are quite decent, although there is a pillow menu as well. We were happy with our pillows, but you can always make your choice and ask for a new one at reception. Couple of bathrobes and slippers, 2 bedside cabinets and bedside lamps, double plug sockets each side but no USB points. Our friends have got these lamps next door, but theirs have got little reading lamps on stalks, which I think went there, which are missing on ours. The curtains are lined, but as you can see, not with a blackout lining. An unexpected little touch was this welcome gift of Aftersun and a black platinum canvas bag. Nice bit of artwork with a lamp, a large comfortable sofa which converts into a sofa bed, and a coffee table. The furniture is in reasonable condition. There are missing pieces to the edging, and they could do with being replaced, but they're not too bad. And air conditioning, which has been very good and very quiet. In the night, I noticed that the top of the skirting boards in the passage glow, which helps get you to the loo without turning on the light. This is a sea view room, so let's take a look at the view. And here we are onto a large terrace. Table and a couple of chairs. Handily, a drying rack. And here is the view. Absolutely stunning. A nice addition to this terrace is this awning that can be brought out if you want a little bit of shade. To get to Mini Club and the sports area, there is a flight of stairs to the right of reception. The bright marble-floored corridor goes under the road. At the end of the corridor is the equipment cabinet. As you can see, there's plenty in here, lots of bats, rackets and clubs, as well as tennis balls, table tennis balls, golf balls and pool. At the top of the steps is a water dispenser and toilets, which are very similar to those in the rest of the hotel. Here we are, just outside the Mini Club. We never saw it actually in use. It is early May and still in term time, so maybe that's why. We did see a few babies and toddlers around the hotel, but mainly it was an older crowd. This wooden ship is quite impressive. I'm sure youngsters would have a lovely time in here. And it's nice that it's shaded too. On the side of the ship here is a little climbing wall. There do appear to be quite a lot of ways in and out of this structure, so room for lots of children to play. The structure itself and the astroturf that it's placed on are all in good condition. I would have no qualms about allowing a small child to play here. Next to the Mini Club are the steps up to the sports area. Up here we have a mini golf course, petanque, shuffleboard, archery, darts, table tennis and tennis. The mini golf course is quite challenging, but having said that, here's me getting a hole in one. I do have some concerns about the course. On this hole, the ball needs a decent whack to get it up the slope, but as you can see, there's the road. I would like to see some netting on the railings. Also, there were loose bricks. On this hole, the AstroTurf is lifting. There are only 6 scruffy white golf balls, and I would like to see maybe 12 fresh ones and in nice bright colours. And on this hole, again, there are loose bricks.
Oh, you rotter. Whose side are you on?
Here's my husband Howard knocking our friend Jackie out in killer darts. Darts was great fun, but they do need a new dartboard, some heavier darts, and the AstroTurf at the hockey does need repair, and if it was a different colour, it might stop some of the cheating. There is a good quality table tennis table, but there is quite a bit of repair needed to the AstroTurf in this area. Here is the archery range that looks quite new, next to shuffleboard and the bull court. Here's the tournament in progress. Archery is only allowed under supervision for safety reasons.
Right, straight, your body wash in front of you like this, okay? So in my case, I'm right then, I'm a normal person.
Yeah.
Here's my husband Howard having a go. It was funny watching the instructor showing my husband how to hold a bow and how to stand, as my husband is actually a GNAS qualified bowman. That arrow actually went all the way through the boss in the gold. Next to the bull court is the entrance to the tennis court. This is a lovely big area and in excellent condition. And here we are at the activities pool, where the animation team is in charge of water polo. And here we are at the paella making demonstration at the Arena Snack Bar.
Mazos, mejillones. Una maravilla. Mejillones.
¡Aplauso por the mazos!
Mazos. Almejas. Ok, así que no hay excusa. Aquí hay 4 kilos de arroz.
The demonstration took around 30 minutes. The resulting paella was served up with a Canarian cocktail. On Tuesdays, housekeeping leave an invitation to Platinum by Night Platinum Club guests. This takes place outside the view, just above the infinity pool. A waitress service serves drinks and cocktails, and a DJ takes requests. From the requests, I say that most of these people are in their 50s and 60s.
Ladies and gentlemen, and good evening and welcome to this great evening, the Platinum evening, with the best cocktails, this nice music.
We enjoyed the evening, watching the sunset and chatting with other guests. Evening entertainment by the Hello Bar usually consists of some sort of easy listening, either singers or a musician. And the performance goes on until 10:30 p.m, which can be heard in the rooms at this side of the hotel because of the open corridors. On the ground floor is the auditorium, the show, where the big performances take place. And now we come to the food, starting with breakfast. This is served in the Lava restaurant and starts at 7:30 in the morning and goes on until 10:30. Hot food can be found on the right, with chilled food in the central serving area. This restaurant has the same impressive marble floors as the rest of the hotel. It's large, modern, spotlessly clean, stylish and with plenty of seating. Let's see what's on the menu. The honeycomb, bread, crackers, pickles, fish, gluten-free bread, gluten-free cereals, and lots of oils, like seeds and sauces. Here are the freshly made smoothies. They also do a detox one that's green and based on cucumber, which is very nice. Here we have pancakes, a porridge with like mixed fruit cocktail in it, and just a plain porridge, which is very nice. One of the nicest hotel porridges I've ever tried. Lovely and thick and creamy. And here are some churros. Here are the fried breakfast. Tomatoes, sausages, Spanish bacon. The sausages are rather nice. Little chipolatas. Baked beans, a bit runny today. It's usually a lot thicker than that, but they are nice. Pineapple, more sausages, and some more tomatoes. And here we have the eggs, boiled, scrambled, poached and frittata. If you would like a fried egg, those are freshly made at the omelette station. Here are the cheeses, the pâtés, and the salad. Sliced meats, and the milks, and tomato juice. You have seeds, dried fruits, and the cereals. I tried the chocolate one and it was rock hard, so I didn't bother with any of the others. Cheese, ketchup, mustard, quark, tomato sauce, the butter, of course, and Nutella. Here's the toaster and it's quite fancy here, as you can see. There are controls for white bread, wheat, muffin, bagels, and you can control the temperature. Not seen that before. And here are the breads, and they were all delicious. Here are the croissants, which were very nice, and all the pastries and cakes and gooey naughtiness. With the pan of chocolat were very nice. There's a selection of whole fruits. The kiwis were huge. Rather have your fruit sliced up for you. Here it is. Lots of different sorts of melons, oranges, those huge kiwis, and here we have the yoghurt. So the tea and coffees. Let's take a look at what's available there. Thankfully, quite a bit of decaf. Otherwise we'd be bouncing off the walls. And here we have cordials, orange, apple and pineapple. And here we are in the Platinum Club area. It's a little quieter here due to being at the side and screened off slightly. We sat here for breakfast most days, as you can still help yourself to the self-service breakfast, but you still get waitress service for the extra items that are available in Platinum Club. Whiz through the indoor seating and go outside to have a look at the Platinum Club area out there. Through the doors, and here's the outdoor seating. This is the Platinum area, and this is nearest the sea, so we do have a sea view. And a view over the pools. They're just setting up at the moment. So what's different about the Platinum area? Morning! Here you have waitress service where you can get juices or milkshakes. Let's take a look at the menu. Yep, fruit juice based on orange juice. So you can have orange, strawberry, papaya or multifruits. A milkshake, banana, strawberry, red fruits and chocolate, or crepes and waffles with a chef special, which we've had, which before was chocolate, banana and hazelnuts, or just sugar and lemon, chocolate and hazelnut, cheese and fresh salad, or cheese and bacon. Again, you can get your own teas and coffees, or if you'd like some champagne, that's available too. And there's a selection of fruits. You can also help yourself to whatever there is in the self-service restaurant. So the only difference being is that waitress service would bring you a special drink, or a crepe or a waffle. We only ever saw 2 waiting staff in this area, so when it gets busy, do have a wait for the items you request. Here is a papaya smoothie and a strawberry milkshake. All the drinks were lovely. This is the sugar and lemon pancake. And here is the chef's special with chocolate sauce, banana, hazelnuts and whipped cream. If you have one of those, you tend to need a very late lunch. Here we are in the Lava restaurant again, this time for lunch. Lunch takes place between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. First up is a large display of fresh fruit, which was always of very good quality. And we come round to the mojo sauces, red, green, mustard and ketchup. Let's go and take a look at the chilled area. And first up, it's the salads. It's quite a large display, and there's even noodles there. And here we're on to the more exotic sorts of salads, and they are beautifully presented. Dried fruits and crackers, chutneys and the cheese selection. Here we have jellies and yogurts. I found the jelly was a little bit hard. The ice creams were excellent. Actually tasted of strawberries, chocolate and banana. Very nice. Here's the chocolate curls and sweets to go on top of your ice cream, and all the sliced fruits. Then we're on to the desserts. Well, the cakes were very nice, and so were the mousses. Some nights, I have to admit, I had 2 or 3 desserts. And here we are in the hot food section with pastas. Oh, the chips were very nice here. Breaded fish. Lots of fish dishes available. Paella. The pizzas were lovely. Special shout out to the tuna one. Pasta sauces and pasta. And here we are in the grill station. And here we can see the chef prepping a new batch of fish. It does smell very nice around here. And here we have grilled chicken, lots of stews, small fish. The stews were generally very tasty, but I wasn't impressed with the lamb one. Although the meat was lovely, there were a lot of bone and fat in there. I didn't have it twice. And what's the soup of the day today? Broccoli. Oh, and that's nice and thick, as you can see. Here you can construct your own kebab. Here we are by the main activities pool at the Arena Snack Bar. This is open from 10 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock at night. Here you can get a quick snack or a light lunch. At the end of the counter are the pre-prepared hot dogs, burgers and chips, although the chips, when they've been stood there a while, are a bit hard. The pizzas are very nice though, and here's some focaccia. There's a selection of salad as well. Ice cream tubs are available, but it would be nice to see some cookies or some cake. Next to the Arena Snack Bar is the a la carte restaurant Wawehi. This restaurant is open between 1 o'clock and 3:30 p.m. and no reservation is required. It was never very busy in here, and the staff were helpful, polite and very quick. The decor is bright and cheerful. This restaurant has direct access to the Platinum Club area. Here is the limited menu, and as you can see, no charge for Platinum Club members. You can also visit as many times as you'd like. We went twice, so we tried both the starters. The feta cheese salad was huge and very tasty. The papaya gazpacho, which is of course cold soup, was refreshing and full of flavour. However, I couldn't help thinking it might have been lovely, warmed up Philistine. And here are the prawns, with canary and potatoes and green mojo sauce. They were huge and there were lots of them. Very tasty, but messy. Really could do with a bib to eat these. Here is the squid, alioli and fries. My husband had this, said they were tasty and very tender. Here is the chicken breast with red mojo sauce and canary and potatoes. But look at the plate, it really could do with a little more veg on there. Here is the pork loin with apple chutney and potatoes. The pork was tasty, but it was quite thin and a little overcooked. Also, the plate could do with some vegetables, so on our second visit we just ordered it with the starter, the cheese salad, at the same time. That sorted that problem. We tried both desserts. This is the creme caramel. It was very nice, but I'm sure I saw this one at the Lava restaurant. It just had some whipped cream, a mint leaf and some chocolate on it to make it more fancy. And here is the lemon and lime mousse with biscuit dust. This was lovely and very citrusy. Overall, we were very happy with our visits to Moehe and delighted to find that the price of this was included in the Platinum Club package. And here we are at The View, which is the self-service bar and cold buffet next to the infinity pool in the Platinum Club area. Just outside is comfortable seating under an awning. Inside are tables and chairs. It's very stylish in here and looks brand new. Let's take a look at the food. There's always plenty of sliced fruit, but the sandwiches changed each day. Usually with salad, there was beef and horseradish, coronation chicken, prawns in Mary Rose sauce and ham. I think this was the only place in the whole hotel where you could get a nice cold sandwich. There was always a selection of fresh fruit and pastries. And here we have the hot drinks machine. Here we have the cold buffet. There were always crackers and nachos, which was lovely with their guacamole, and the very fancy cold buffet. And this changed each day. We were always spoilt for choice. There were always little open sandwiches, meats, salad bowls, cheese, pickles and olives. And here's the cold buffet on another day. This time there were huge delicious prawns, some lovely cured meats and a rather nice ripe brie. And here is the sandwich cabinet on a different day. Some very nice sandwiches in there and some rather tempting looking cake, which of course I had to have. Look how fancy that is. The food in this Platinum area was absolutely wonderful and definitely made being a member of the Platinum Club well worthwhile. Here we are at the evening a la carte restaurant Macaronesia, which means blessed or fortunate isles. This is one of 2 evening a la carte restaurants. Anyone can eat here, but a reservation is required. Reservations are made through reception or through the hotel's web app. All-inclusive guests staying a minimum of 7 days can have 1 free a la carte meal. Guests staying in deluxe rooms can have 2 free meals. Platinum guests staying a minimum of 7 days can have 3 free meals. However, wine from the wine list is chargeable, and here is the wine list. As you can see, all-inclusive guests do get a discount. We treated ourselves to a rosé, and very nice it was too. Macaronesia is a grill-style restaurant with the food being prepared in a food truck. Here is the menu. For starters, we had the nachos, the creamy pumpkin soup, and the grilled goat's cheese salad. For the main course, we had tuna loin, which really could do with some veg on the plate, the garlic beef, the chicken wrap and chips, and a cheddar cheeseburger with chips. There is a choice of 2 desserts, so between us we had them both, with the chocolate brownie and ice cream, and the yoghurt cream with guava and biscuit crumble, which was lovely, but a rich tea biscuit is not really fancy enough as an embellishment. We had 2 meals here at Macaronesia. The ambience is lovely, the service is quick, and the food is wonderful. but I wished that we had booked this once and the other a la carte La Arena twice, as the food there is fancier, and I do like fancy. Here we are, off to the Arena a la carte evening meal. Arena meaning sand or sandy. You may recognise this from earlier, as at lunchtime this is the Moehe restaurant. Here is the wine list. This time we opted for a white. And here is the menu. And as you can see, it's a bit fancy. For starters, we all chose the salmon toast with tartar sauce and olive mousse. It was lovely. For the main course, we had the oriental noodle wok with vegetables, the salmon with seasonal vegetables, and the beef. There are two options for dessert, so we had them both, the profiteroles and the red fruits panna cotta. This was our favourite a la carte restaurant. The food was absolutely gorgeous. And here we are in the Lava restaurant for the buffet evening meal. First up is a charcuterie display with quite a bit on here, and this unusual thing, filled with sopressata, which is apparently a soft cured sausage. When we inquired as to what the receptacle was, we were told it was a stomach. I do wish I hadn't asked. Here we have a selection of salad dressings, meats and salads. And here are the olives, fish and more salad ingredients. Here is hummus, crackers, chutneys, dried fruits and the cheese selection. And here is the cooked food, fish stew, canary potatoes, aubergines. Oh, the chips were lovely, nice and fat and soft. Here are the potatoes, vegetables and rice. Here's the roast beef, which was very nice indeed. The pasta and the pizzas, you couldn't really go wrong with them. Here is the grill station. What have we here? Mussels. Here we have a rice dish, potato wedges, stews, vegetables. That looks like a moussaka. As you can see, there is plenty of variety here. Onto the desserts, where there's sweets, sliced fruits, jellies, yogurts, ice creams, the sauce toppings and chocolate curls, white and dark chocolate. Lots of whole fruit, a few healthy types, and the sliced fruits. And we're rounding off with the cakes and mousses and things. Apart from the specials, the choice didn't alter very much night to night, but there was plenty of variety within that, so you'd always find something that you would like to eat. If you would like a late night bite, there are a few options just by the Hello Bar. Just next to the drink station are sandwiches, fruit and a few biscuits. Here we are on the 7th floor, just outside our room, just to give you an idea of the noise levels from the entertainment. But don't worry, that does stop at 10:30 at night. As we enjoy some video of how this hotel looks at night, let me take you through my final thoughts on this particular hotel. Margarita checked us in and she was friendly, polite and efficient. She explained everything that was on the information sheet with our check-in envelope. The information sheet was probably one of the best we've ever received from a hotel. We arrived at 11 p.m. at night, so it was great to receive a canvas bag with some sandwiches in there and have access to some biscuits and fruits. The hotel is pretty luxurious, with a premium adults only feel. Children are welcome here, but there's not that much for them to do, and there are no family rooms. You might want to check out the sister hotel just up the hill, the Landmar Los Gigantes. It's a bigger, more family-focused hotel. Our room was spacious, well decorated, a comfortable bed with good quality linens. The furniture is starting to look a little tired, but not too bad. The room was spotlessly clean and housekeeping did a good job. In the bathroom it was good to have 2 showers, but it did make the toilet area feel a little cramped. Also, the amenities kit was very small. There are 432 rooms, of which 12 are suites. There are 6 accessible rooms on the ground floor, with wider doors, lower wash basins, raised toilets and walk-in showers, no bath. I couldn't get in to film any of those as they were either occupied or being refurbished. With regards to drinks, it was nice to get an empty water bottle in the room, which can then be refilled from the refilling stations around the hotel. There are 3 bars: the Hello Bar, the bar at the show and the pool bar. The drinks were good, the staff friendly and the queues were always short. Food. The Lava Buffet restaurant was a standard buffet, but there was always plenty to eat and decent quality. Activities-wise, there's plenty to keep you busy, either led by the animation team or on your own in the sports area, which is starting to look a little tired, but it is well equipped. Evening entertainment is either easy listening in the lobby or large professional performances in the auditorium. It was all very pleasant and didn't go on too late. It's now time to talk about the Platinum Club and whether it's worth it for you. The first thing you notice is at check-in you get a wristband with your room key attached to it, so it can't get lost, and it also allows you access to Platinum-only areas. There is also early check-in and late check-out subject to availability. You will also get a higher room, so it's quieter and has better views. You get bathrobes and slippers and a Platinum towel card, so you don't need to pay a deposit for your beach towel. You get a coffee machine and a stocked minibar. There is no charge to use the safe. We got a welcome gift, a canvas bag and some aftersun. There is access to the Platinum Lounge and the self-service bar. In the Lava Buffet restaurant there are 2 Platinum seating areas, one indoor which is slightly quieter and slightly plusher, and outdoors which has better views and is slightly more private. As well as helping yourself to the self-service breakfast, there is waitress service which brings milkshakes, smoothies, pancakes and waffles. At lunchtime, Platinum guests can eat for free at the Moehe a la carte restaurant. You can also get an additional 2 evening a la carte meals. On Tuesday evenings there's also Platinum by Night with live DJ and waitress service. Perhaps the biggest benefit is the access to the outdoor Platinum area. This is adult only, as is Platinum Club. It's got a lovely infinity pool, a jacuzzi and padded sunbeds. The view where the buffet and bar is beautiful, very stylish, and the food is very fancy. And of course there's the self-pour bar. So how much extra does Platinum Club actually cost? We booked our holiday a year in advance. To upgrade to Platinum Club for 10 nights cost us £200 per person. So that's £20 per person per day. I have seen it for £400 for 10 days, so twice as much, just depending on which month you want to go and how far in advance you book. We were happy to pay what we did and we thought it was good value for money. We stayed here in early May 2026 during term time. We thoroughly enjoyed our stay and would happily come here again. I've tried to be as comprehensive as I can with this review, but is there any aspect of a hotel that you think I've missed so I can include them in future videos? I will be uploading videos to show our trips out to the cheese factory, the stepped pyramids, Loro Park, dolphin watching and a walk around La Arena. I hope you found this video helpful. If you like in-depth, honest, no-nonsense reviews of hotels and attractions in the UK and beyond, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching.